Hi everyone, you are watching Commerce King Academy right now. Today we will start new chapter with the name Analysis of Business Transactions and Debit and Credit in Double Entry System. Is it okay? This is very simple or straightforward chapter, right? Make sure if you see this video till the end, you will understand the whole concept of this chapter, right? I proved this will fruitful for you practically as well as logically, yeah? So in this chapter, we are moving around four things. First is how we analyze the business transaction. Second is how we apply rule of debit and credit in business transactions. The third one is how we fix the transactions in double entry system, or how we entered the transactions in double entry system. Fourth is what is the concept of ledger or T account after the recording of transactions in ledgers and understanding or analyze the business transactions. Next proceeding in the T account or ledger account, because a lot of transactions done by companies every day on continuous basis. Dear students, let you know again, I'm saying again that chapter number 3 will be consist on 4 points. The first point is how we analyze business transaction. So video number 1 of chapter number 3 will be consist of first point, which is how we analyze business transaction. So let's get started. The accounting cycle starts with the analysis of transactions. A proper analysis of business transactions is very important to make a correct journal entry. Dear students, analysis of business transactions is a mental process which includes the following 4 steps. Number 1 is ascertaining the accounts involved in the transaction. Every business transaction involves 2 or more accounts. The process of analyzing a business transaction starts with finding out these accounts. For example, Mr. John started a business with cash $25,000. It is a transaction which includes 2 accounts. First is cash account and second is capital account. So in this way, we will screen or analyze the accounts within the transaction in this way. After the ascertaining the accounts involved in the transaction, now we are moving on second point, which is ascertaining the nature of accounts involved in the transactions. The second step of transaction analysis is to ascertain the nature of accounts found in step 1. In above example, cash is an asset account and capital is an owner's equity or capital account. Dear viewers, for complete understanding of both points, which are ascertaining the assets, and the second point is ascertaining the nature of accounts, it is too much need to know about nature of accounts or classification of accounts, because most of the students may confused in types of accounts. Now here I am teach to you about accounts. Accounts are classified using two approaches. Accounts are classified using two approaches. First is traditional or British approach. Second is modern or American approach. Accounts are classified into traditional or British approach, which are impersonal accounts, personal accounts, real accounts or nominal accounts. So let's we explain these in detail. According to traditional approach or British approach, the accounts are classified into three types, which are real accounts, nominal accounts and personal accounts, because it is an old system of classifying accounts. It is used very rare in practice. So must keep in your mind these concepts. First is personal accounts. Personal accounts are the accounts that are used to record transactions related to individual persons, firms, companies, or other organizations. Examples of such accounts include Mr. X account, Modern Enterprises account, and Citibank account, etc. Next is impersonal accounts. The accounts which are not relating to persons are called impersonal accounts. I said again, the accounts which are not relating to persons are called impersonal accounts. These are further divided into two accounts, real accounts and nominal accounts. Real accounts, also termed as permanent accounts, are the accounts that have their existence even after the close of accounting period. In the next accounting period, these accounts starts with a non-zero balance carried forward from previous accounting period. Examples of real accounts are machinery account, land account, furniture account, cash account, and account payable account. Usually real accounts are listed in the balance sheet of business, so they are sometimes referred to as balance sheet account. Next is nominal account. Nominal accounts, also referred as temporary accounts, are the accounts that are closed at the end of accounting period. In the next accounting period, these accounts start with the zero balance. Accounts of income, gains, expenses, and losses are nominal accounts. Nominal accounts are normally used to accumulate income and expense data to be used for preparation of income statement or trading and profit and loss account. So they are sometimes referred to as income statement accounts. For example, of such accounts includes sales, purchases, gain on sale of an asset, wages, and rent paid. After the understanding or discussion of classification of accounts under traditional or British approach, now we are going toward classification of accounts under modern or American approach. The modern approach has become a standard of classifying accounts in many advanced countries. The types of accounts under this approach are mostly self-explanatory. Under modern and American approach, the accounts are classified into following 5 groups. First is asset account. Examples are land account, machinery account, accounts receivable accounts, prepaid rent account, cash account, etc. These are fall in asset accounts in the context of modern or American approach. Now the second point is liability accounts. Examples of Liability accounts are loan account, accounts payable accounts, wages payable account, salaries payable accounts, rent payable, etc. Next is revenue accounts. Examples are sales account, service revenue account, rent revenue account, interest revenue account, and other type of revenue will be fall in revenue accounts. Next is expense account. Examples of expense accounts are wages expense account, commission expense account, salaries expense account, rent expense account, etc. Fifth is capital or owner's equity accounts. Examples are John's capital account are the main example of capital or owner equity account. That is, for example, Mr. John started or commenced business by investing $25,000. This transaction have two impacts in the reference of classification of assets in American approach or modern approach. 25,000 will be considered as an asset for cash, and same as 25,000 will be considered as a liability in the head of capital or owner equity accounts. Let's see here this example which have the following contents, which we classify the following accounts using traditional and modern approach. First content is plant and machinery. Second is purchases. Third is sales. Fourth is rent expense. Fifth is land and building. Sixth is cash. Seventh is Sam's or James capital. Eighth is loan from Citibank. What will be the names of these items in the context of traditional classification and as well as modern classification? Traditional classification, plant and machinery will be considered as named as real account. Purchases will be considered in traditional approach nominal account. Sales will be considered nominal account. Rent expense will be considered in nominal accounts. Land and building will be considered real account. Cash will be considered as real account. Sam's capital will be considered as personal account. Loan from Citibank will be considered as personal account. Next is modern classification of accounts. First is plant and machinery will be considered as asset account. Purchases will be considered as expense account. Sales will be considered as revenue account. Rent will be considered as expense account. Land and building will be considered as asset account. Cash will be considered as asset account. Sam's capital will be considered as capital or owner equity account. Loan from Citibank will be considered as liability account for any business or organization. These are the terms which will be used today by us in modern accounting, not used traditional or previous approach. Welcome back on how we analyze business transactions after understanding the both concepts regarding as certain of accounts as well as ascertaining the nature of accounts. Now we are going toward third point, determining the effects in terms of increase and decrease. After ascertaining the nature of accounts in step 2, we determine which account is increasing and which one is decreasing as a result of transaction being analyzed. It is necessary for the proper application of rules of debit and credit on each account. In above example, the two accounts involved are cash account and capital account. Both are increasing. Okay. So must remember and keep in your mind. Next step is applying the rule of debit and credit. The final step of transaction analysis is to apply the rules of debit and credit on accounts. In this step, we determine which account is to be debited and which one is to be credited on the basis of increase and decrease in accounts determined. In step 2, in our example, cash account would be debited because when cash asset increases, its account is debited to other account involved in John's capital, which would be credited because when capital increases, its account is credited. Our transaction, recall the transaction. Our transaction was Mr. John started his business with $25,000. This was the transaction. Cash account debit to capital account will be credit. Amounted $25,000. Dear students, we have another example with number of transactions for practice in the context of analyzing transactions, because practice makes a perfect. So let's get started. Requirement of this example is give step-wise analysis of the above transactions. So first transaction is Mr. John started his business by investing $50,000. We will analyze this transaction with following format. Transaction number 1. Mr. John started business with $50,000. First is accounts involved. First account is cash account. The second account is capital account. First column is accounts involved. Which accounts will be included by transactions? Second is classification of accounts. Which account will be fall in which category, whether is asset, owner equity, expense, asset, revenue, or so on. Next column is increase or decrease. Which account will be increase or decrease in the context of the financial position of the business. Next column is debit or credit. Which account will be debit or credit in the context of double entry system. First transaction is accounts involved. First account involved, which is cash. Second is capital of John. Cash will be considered as asset and capital will be considered as owner's equity. Asset will be increase in the business and capital will be increase. Cash will be debit and capital will be credit. Second transaction of this business is purchased merchandise for cash amounted $20,000. This transaction is consist of two accounts. First is purchases and second is cash. Purchases will be considered as an expense for the business. An increase in the expenses with the purchase will be considered purchases as a debit. The second account is cash. Cash asset decrease from the business and will be considered as a credit. The entry of this transaction will be as purchases to cash, purchases debit and cash credit. The third transaction of this business is sold merchandise to Mr. Sam on credit for $5,000. The treatment of this transaction will be sales to Mr. Sam on credit. The third transaction have two accounts in this transaction. First is accounts receivable or debtor. This because this transaction consists of credit basis. Accounts receivables are comes to an existence. The journal entry of this transaction is accounts receivable to sales. Sales will be considered as revenue or increase or will be credit for the business. Whether accounts receivables will be considered as asset or increase in assets will be debit for the business. The fourth entry of this business is paid salary to an employee amounted $700. The treatment of this transaction will be in the context analysis of transaction salary to cash. Salary expense increase and debit for the business and cash will be considered as asset decrease and will be credit for the business. Salary to cash is the actual entry of this transaction. Number fifth transaction of this business is received cash from Mr. Sam amounted $4,800 and allowed him a cash discount of $200. We will analyze transaction number 5. Cash asset increase will be debit. Account receivable asset decrease will be credit. Discount allowed will be considered as expense for the business and increase debit. The journal entry of this transaction is cash received $4,800 whether discount allowed given by the business to Sam $200. The actual account receivable was $5,000. Both sides are equal with the debit and credit. Recall the referenced entry of this transaction is number 3. Sold merchandise to Mr. Sam on credit for $5,000. The actual amount of selling goods are $5,000. Now 200 discount allowed or discount given by the business to Mr. Sam. Thanks for watching for this video. Please like, share, comment and subscribe this video. Thanks.